Okay, welcome to session 8 of the Haunted Manor. We are still wrapping up the adventure as the party is investigating several rooms that they've been locked out of until now. And we're picking up here. We've got 3 people in the party right now. We're waiting for our 4th, but we're going to start and hope that he shows up at some point soon.
Right.
Okay, so I think where we left off is you guys were going to investigate what was behind this double door in the upstairs hallway.
Yes.
Again, they're just double doors. They're bound with brass bindings. There is a lock on the door.
Well, first I'm gonna check for traps.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pick the lock.
Alright, so there's no trap that you've detected on this door. After a couple flicks with your thieves' tools, you hear the lock make a little gentle click, and you've got the impression that it's unlocked now.
Right? I will slowly open the door and peek inside. Oh no, a bedroom, the horror.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's where the succubus sleeps.
Even worse.
It's been several hours. You've rested at least one session since the big encounter with Thornbone. So, yeah, it's getting toward evening.
Wow, that was quite a lighting shift.
I know, huh? Alright, as you open the door to the second floor bedroom, you're hit with the pungent smell of salt and seawater. The room is dimly lit, and by a candle on the bedside table, casting eerie shadows on the peeling wallpaper. The bed in the center of the room is unmade, with rumpled sheets and a lumpy pillow. To the left of the bed is a large wooden chest with brass fittings. On the side of the room, there's a large desk with several drawers, stacks of parchment and quills on it. The desk is strewn with various papers, and a partially open book lies on its surface. The walls in the room are adorned with a nautical-themed decor, including a few old maps and a painting of a pirate ship in full sail.
Honestly, after all the necromancer stuff, that's definitely not what I expected. Spot check, make sure we're not about to get ambushed by small, large spiders again.
Okay, go ahead. Alright, you look about the room. It doesn't appear to be occupied at this time.
Alright, in that case, I guess I'll check out the chest. Someone want to check out the desk?
Sure, I'll be happy to do that. We're doing a search check, Z?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I'm going to let smarter, more informed personnel make the search.
Rollers.
Alright.
Okay, that too, but
Alright.
Now,
so
which of the 3 maps are we on? I haven't found us yet.
you're in the middle one, on the top floor, along the north side of the building.
How do I get the map? God. Oh,
You
are
click
we
on
in
your
the hallway?
character portrait on the left side, it should drag you to yourself. But yes, we're in the
most of the
upstairs
time
hallway.
it does.
Oh, we're in the hallway. That's why the
Yeah,
wall is hiding me. Got it.
The wizard levitating his way in again.
Ain't it special?
Hello?
Sorry, I'm late, guys.
Oh, not too
You
late.
suck.
Nice.
Is that not nice for me?
You died and were resurrected 3 times. You owe us 7 million gold.
Done.
Man, you didn't even make him bluff that.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, you guys have just opened up a bedroom. Alon has moved over toward the chest. Robillard has moved over to look at the desk that's got papers on it. So, Alon, you get close to the chest and you give it a search, and you see that it's got a lock. However, the lock is actually unlocked, and there's like a clasp that's been unfastened.
Okay. But I didn't find any traps or anything?
No trap.
Alright. When it bites me, I expect you guys to attack it.
The chest leaps at Alon. No. Inside the chest looks like it contains a small assortment of variety of things. You see a collection of rugged, weather-worn clothing suitable for a sailor. This includes a couple worn sailor shirts, breeches, and a well-worn leather belt with a nautical-themed buckle on it, as well as a pair of sturdy boots with traces of salt water on them.
Okay, I'm gonna use detect magic. Is anything in this chest magical?
No, nothing you see in the chest is magical.
Well, sadness.
It does appear like there's quite a bit in the chest, though. You may need to dig around. There may be other things.
Okay,
I'll let him dig around a little bit while I get my drink.
Okay.
I will dig around and search the inside of the chest then.
Okay.
Paying attention back down the hall in case anything is sneaking up on us.
Alright, so searching under the clothing reveals a fine ivory hairbrush and two small vials, glass vials with the colored fluids in them, a small silver hand mirror, and a straight razor.
And is any of that stuff magical?
No, unfortunately not.
Nice, I found the hairbrush and nail polish.
And there is a kind of a smell of sandalwood in the chest.
So they're perfume.
They could be.
I think that's everything for the chest. I guess we should put the mirror and the hairbrush at least we should probably take. Those are probably treasure value level stuff.
They could be. Looks like the hairbrush is made of ivory. Okay. Looks like the room's been recently occupied, even though there's webbing on the wall near the corner. It doesn't appear to be occupied with any giant spiders that you can see.
Okay. While I'm right here, is there anything under the bed?
You take a look under the bed. You see a few scraps of rags, and that's about it, though. And as you take a look, you realize that they're bloody rags.
Fun.
Won't cut themselves shaving.
Perhaps. What is this box here? Is this just an empty crate, or?
Yeah, it's a large crate that appears to be open. You want to peer inside and take a look?
I don't know. When you phrase it that way, it makes me nervous, but sure.
Okay, you kind of get up next to the edge and get up on your tiptoes and take a look over the edge. And it looks like what could be a large piece of canvas. It's a little bit salty and a rough look to it.
Maybe backup sails for the boat that we sank in the harbor downstairs.
Shit, we sink a boat?
Yeah, that happened last time.
I should have sent you the link to my Twitch. I didn't realize you were asking to watch the video.
I figured I'd catch up. I just missed it.
That is okay. I'll eventually publish it to YouTube.
That's
So
a disconcerting
the-
lack of effort on your part, sir.
Oh, yeah. It's all on me.
I meant Rob.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, all goddamn defensive.
Yeah, well, the creator. So, as you take a moment to take a sip from your flask under your robe, Robillard kind of peers at the scattered papers on the desk. And it looks like there's a book that's got a page mark set, but it's closed. And on the desk is what looks like a letter or note of some sort.
Well, let's take a peek at it.
Okay, you lean over and glance at it. It appears to be written in common. It says, Captain, I write to you with the utmost urgency and caution. As you delve deeper into this accursed manor, I implore you to exercise great care and discretion when entering any of my unknown rooms. Dangers lurk within these walls, and venturing recklessly could cost you not only your life, but also your very soul. Here I have witnessed horrors that defy explanation, manifestations of evil that prey upon the unwary. Dark forces are at play here, and they spare no mercy for those who dare to trespass upon their domain. This kind of exclamation point there.
Well, that's a little late.
Honestly, it's just one of those, everything we encounter is like, don't explore the house.
It continues on.
And
It
by the
says,
time you've reached the 400th warning, it just kind of loses all weight, right?
I agree. But maybe he's trying to set us up. That would be very Z-like.
says, be mindful of hidden traps, insidious enchantments, and creatures beyond mortal comprehension. The walls of this manor conceal secrets best left undisturbed. And I fear those who venture into these unknown territories may become lost forever, their essence consumed by the nefarious powers that I've summoned to lie in wait. I implore you, Captain, lead your crew with caution and prudence, and don't be swayed by greed or blind ambition. Our mission may be lucrative, but the cost of one's life and soul is a price too steep to pay. Let you not fall victim to the same fate that has befallen others who have treaded this treacherous path before us. Yours in shared adversity, Thornbone.
Of course, it's Thornbone, the very dead necromancer.
Yes.
Well, he better stay freaking dead.
Wow. You know how necromancers are. They have a hard time with that.
It seems to be almost an obsession of theirs.
Can't imagine why. Anyway, so we're done with this room. So we've got the locked room that tried to make us open it, which is still very suspicious. And then we've got the room that we apparently have a key towards that we didn't realize was a key for. Downstairs, like 3 floors down from here.
And I believe there's a room on the second level you haven't explored as well.
Yeah, the one that the door wants us to open it and we didn't do that.
Oh no, I think there's 2 rooms on the second floor you haven't been to.
We fell through the floor here. This was the suspicious cloak. This is the necromancer's bedroom. We were in here. I don't remember what the room was, but there's just a little pot there. That led downstairs, and this was Spider Hell, so we should have been everywhere.
I believe the room at the end of the hall next to the necromancer's bedroom, and the room at the end of the southern hall, which you got the impression they wanted you to open the door.
Oh, I thought we'd been in this room, but I guess not.
I'm not sure. Can you see the light at the
Yes.
end of the hall there? So there's this door you've not been through, and this door you've not been through.
I swore we'd been in there, but okay. Well, gentlemen, where do we want to go first?
Not. I'm still out on the ship.
What?
Oh.
Are you down on the ship?
Let me fix that. Sorry about that. Now you should be able to locate your dude. You're on the second floor, the middle keep.
Okay.
It's still linking him to the one that's at the bottom of the ocean.
So, if you pick up and drop your token, I get to assume you walked over any traps.
There we go.
As you guys carefully begin to edge down the hallway. The floor creaks alarmingly at times as you walk across, but it doesn't give way. Alright, so you stop at the room at the end of the hall. Let me take a look at my map for my notes.
Or was this magically locked and we couldn't get it open because of that?
Correct. Upon first inspection, the wooden door is plain and unremarkable, with no visible adornments or markings. However, you attempted to lockpick it in a previous session, and upon closer inspection you determined that it was wizard locked, and it was slightly too difficult for you to pick the lock.
Well, unless we have the key for this door, it's staying locked, so...
Unless we chop through it.
I mean, yeah, you can do that if you'd like.
That's what we need to do at this point, because until we level, which, hopefully won't be that much longer, I, can't get a Nox bow.
So I believe previous time you've encountered the store you had a brass and a silver key.
Oh, yeah. He's dangling the key at us.
And I believe you found a jade key in Thornbone's bag.
Right. But I thought the brass key was for the other room we haven't been into on this floor. I don't know where the silver key's for. And I think the jade key's probably for down there. But yeah, we can certainly try them all.
Okay. So after carefully examining the keys in the door, you determine that neither the silver or the brass key are the proper key, but The jade key does appear to have an interesting shape that may fit into the lock.
We're gonna totally break the jade key and then not get to do the lower level, but that's fine. We will try the jade key unless anyone objects.
Okay. You carefully insert the jade key into the door and turn it, and there's a small flash of purplish light, and you hear a lock click inside the door.
You have now activated the trap. In 10 seconds, you will
Probably.
self-destruct.
Give me just a moment, and I will reveal the contents.
I mean, we can't get out through the front door anyway, so if it blows a hole in the wall of the keep, we get to leave, right?
Why can't we go out the front door?
Because it closed. Oh, this doesn't look suspicious in the slightest.
Alright. So, as you enter the dimly lit room, your eyes strain to adjust to the limited illumination provided by a solitary flickering torch mounted on one wall. The wavering light casts eerie shadows that dance across the worn and uneven floorboards. The room itself measures approximately 15 feet by 20 feet, its atmosphere steeped in an air of neglect and disarray. In the center of the room, your gaze is drawn to a large wooden chest, its surface adorned with brass bindings that glimmer faintly in the torchlight. The chest stands as a sturdy and imposing presence, radiating an aura of secrecy and containment. The heavy lock affixed to the front hints at the valuable or confidential nature of its contents, serving as a deterrent to prying eyes. Upon closer inspection of the room, you notice a haphazard collection of items scattered carelessly across the floor. A wooden bucket lies upturned, its contents spilled and forgotten. Nearby, a large mop leans against the wall, its once white fibers now matted and stained from repeated use. The presence of these cleaning tools suggests that this room was once used for maintenance or janitorial purposes, but has since fallen into disuse. Among the scattered items, you notice what appear to be cushions, discarded and left in a state of disarray. The cushions, once plush and inviting, now bear signs of wear and tear, their vibrant colors faded over time. They seem out of place in this neglected room, hinting at a past where comfort and relaxation held significance. Toward the back of the room, a bag of grain has been clumsily knocked over, its contents spilling onto the floor. The grain forms a messy pile, scattered in disarray. It seems as though the bag was left unattended, or its contents forgotten and abandoned. But overall, the room exudes an aura of neglect and abandonment, as if it's been relegated to the periphery of the manor's attention. The flickering torch casts long, wavering shadows that seem to dance across the walls, adding to the room's mysterious and forgotten ambience.
Well... Oh, hold on. The wizard's struggling with the stairs.
There are no traps in that area.
You get vengeance for me, okay, guys? Alright, terrifying super box. Let's see. Oops, I didn't mean to double roll there.
Okay. So the lock on the chest is old and rusted, with intricate etchings of arcane symbols and a keyhole that appears to be jammed with debris. As you approach closely, you notice the lock emits a faint, pulsing aura, indicating it's enchanted.
An enchanted but jammed lock. Well, if it's jammed, I assume I can't attempt to pick it.
Let's knock out the pins.
You could. Do you want to examine it more closely, or what do you want to do?
That sounds like I should examine it more closely. Carefully, of course.
Okay.
Is that going to be another search check, or...
Yeah, that'd be a search check, I'd say.
Yeah.
So, it appears to be untrapped, or there doesn't appear to be anything rigged to explode or anything along those lines.
I don't know. The way it doesn't appear like it's going to explode. Seems awfully specific. All right. I will attempt to pick the lock.
Okay. Go ahead and make an open lock. There you go. All right. So, you put in the thieves' tools, and after a few moments, you get some of the grime and dust out of the lock rather easily. And you hear a click. And immediately after the click of the lock unlocking, you hear breaking of some kind of small glass item, and a hissing noise suddenly erupts from the chest, and you're caught in a cloud of greenish gas.
Oh, good. My worst save.
All right, let's see. All right, make a constitution, not a con, a fortitude check.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Classic rogue fortitude.
okay, so you take 12 points of damage and begin choking and coughing in the gas.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna run out of that as quickly as possible.
All right, go and make another fortitude check to see if you can gain control of your body while you're choking so violently. Oh no, you fall to your knees and you're holding your neck, coughing desperately in the cloud of gas. Do any of the rest of you want to do anything?
Run in and grab him.
Okay. So Narvi charges into the room. Go ahead and make a fortitude check, Narvi.
Sure.
Special dwarven bonus.
Yeah, you get a dwarven bonus. Alright, you manage to close your mouth and you're holding your breath as you snag him. You only take half damage. So you take 5 points. And you grab him and drag him out of the cloud of gas.
Alright.
You guys watch, and you see the cloud of green gas begin to thin. And after just maybe 10 rounds, it appears to clear and gets swept out of the room in small, wispy patches and bits that aren't quite as dangerous.
He didn't lie. It didn't explode.
Per se, no.
Okay. So the gas clears after about a minute. And while a little worse for the wear, none of you died from the experience.
Yeah.
No, but I could probably use a heal. I'm one unlucky paper cut from going down.
I get out a scroll and I start unraveling it, and I look over at Alon and just go,
Great, thanks.
Z appreciated it, come on.
I like to chuckle at unlucky people.
I wanted to see if a paper cut really would kill him.
Your pain makes me happy.
I pull out my sharpest scroll, DMs. What do you mean?
I'll use my cure minor wounds, so you know. It might take 2 paper cuts now.
Okay.
Damn it.
Alright, let's open this. I'm gonna check it again to make sure there's no backup trap, actually.
Okay. All right. Worried that there might be a trap on the interior of the chest, you check very carefully first. You know, I've done that in the past, by the way.
You know, that doesn't surprise me.
Okay. So, yes, you find no trap rigged for the opening of the chest itself.
Here we go.
The chest pops open. Okay.
And it's completely empty.
Inside the chest, you find a bearskin cloak, its fur retaining a rugged yet regal appearance. The cloak emanates a faint aura of magic, its power palpable to those attuned to such energies. Its size suggests it would provide ample coverage and warmth when warm, making it ideal for traversing cold or treacherous terrain. The bearskin cloak is arranged in the chest, kind of in a rumpled ball almost.
I'm not sure if I should poke it with something or try to gently pull it out. What do you guys think?
I think maybe not you. Maybe someone that's not a paper cut away from dying. I'm out of heals right now.
Fair enough.
Or did you guys rest last session? I think we did, right?
Well, we said we were going to, we just never got around
I think we were
to
gonna
rolling such.
After the rooms, I think. And
Oh, I
'cause
thought we were doing it in between the sessions, kind of a thingy.
Yeah, I thought you guys did a rest session right before we picked up to the double doors. So you should have your spells back at this point.
Yeah, well, Rob wouldn't have known that, so.
Exactly. He wasn't around last session.
Refresh
and I
what
think
tells.
after we rested, I used my healing spells up right away because some of us were injured.
Right. That sounds right. But I don't think Narvi used up his cleric spells yet.
In that case, switch up some of my things real quick. Right, so I will. Which one is you? Maybe? I don't know who's who. Yeah, got it right. Give me a number. Points.
Hey, it works now.
One online that works.
Work.
Alright, so Elon gets 8 points back.
All right, I'm going to very carefully grab one corner of the cloak and slowly start pulling it out of the box.
You pull on the folds of the bearskin cloak. It suddenly falls away. And nestled within the folds of the bearskin cloak
Big dragon!
lies a crystal skull. Its presence immediately captivating. The skull glows softly with an ethereal light, both enchanting and mesmerizing as you gaze upon it. It exudes an aura of enchantment and evokes a strange feeling. Go ahead and make a will save.
Oh my goodness, I can save for anything.
You begin to cackle just a little bit, and as you look around, you hear a terrible shriek, Elon. And for some reason, your perspective seems to be moving as it appears that you're running out of the room, but you're not really in control of your fate. As you scream a horrible shriek that nobody's ever heard before, as you exit the room in a fit of terror.
I'll knock him down as he tries running by.
Go ahead and make just a general attack roll then.
Okay. Like D20?
Yeah, I think it would be, where would it be on the sheet? It would be somewhere.
Right below your base attack, I think just melee attack.
That's it. Yeah, there you go.
If I can get this damn thing to move. Base attack. Oh, melee attack, gotcha.
Alright, so you stick out your foot. Elon's not paying any attention whatsoever to you. So you stick your leg out, and I believe his AC is under 17? So,
Yeah, it's 14.
So Elon trips, and he's laying on the floor. His lungs are out of juice at this point, and the scream is stopped. But his eyes are bulging still.
Let's shout on him. Get a hold of yourself, damn it!
The skull's magical aura appears to be imbued with a potent fear-inducing enchantment, capable of unsettling even the bravest of adventurers. With a will check of 6.
Let's see, is there...
It's painful because I actually have a +4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I said, I rolled a 3 and then I rolled a 2. So, you know, my saving throws are going well.
Yes. Shake him and slap him. Come to your senses.
I don't know if there's anything I can do that would help him. Tell if
Perhaps
there's
shattering
anything...
the skull?
What's that about the skull?
I was suggesting shattering the skull to break the enchantment.
Well, it looks like Elon appears to have recovered from his fear after just a few moments. But you're left with
Alright, cured him.
a terrible feeling of something bad could be happening. And the DM got a beer delivery. Isn't that awesome?
Huh.
Wow. Spouse or
Pretty
child?
damn good.
The wife is wonderful.
Yes, she is.
That's
Doesn't
awesome.
bring me any beer.
Mine's out of town, so, you know, I can't get that benefit. Damn it.
Well, at least you can open the fridge while you're naked.
That's true.
Let's see.
Alright, Elon, so you're able to get back to your feet, the fear is past, and you feel a little bit embarrassed because you've never heard anyone shriek that way before.
I don't know, I think Harlan's probably one that's popular with, but anyway. Well, the cloak seems valuable, you just have to get it out from under the skull of terrifying gaze.
Let's see. Screeching like a girl. I will reach in and grab the cloak,
Okay.
and I'll hand that off to somebody. And can I tell if there's anything about the skull that is cursed or some kind of symbol of a being evil entity?
So, you take a look at the skull, and you need to make a will save.
Key. Back to stats. There we go.
All right. You're able to resist the compulsion of the skull. It seems to be radiating a bit of an aura of fear. You can tell that the crystal skull, holds secrets and potential power, but the significance is yet to be fully understood. Its presence within the chest serves as a tantalizing glimpse into the mysterious and arcane nature of the manor, leaving you with a choice. Will you embrace the skull's enigmatic power, or carefully grab it, aware of its potential to potentially sow fear and uncertainty? It's nestled.
Not gonna.
It's in the
Just
middle
stuff
of
it in
the
the
cloak.
bucket that's over in the corner.
Do we feel it's evil?
Do
Do
you
we
have
get that sense?
Do you have detect evil?
I don't have it.
I'm asking for
Triggered.
gut, not official.
Okay. DM will roll a dice.
I'd say all of us can, look at something and go evil, not evil.
Well, it's a crystal skull. It could be extremely valuable based on the size.
Yeah,
It
was
could
I
thinking
also
want to
be
play
good
the
for
Indiana
bonding.
Jones theme song right now.
Name the dog Indiana. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll grab it and shove it in a pouch and close it over.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll probably be possessed or something.
As you cautiously reach out and touch the crystal skull, a surge of arcane energy courses through your fingertips. Suddenly, your surroundings fade away, and your consciousness is transported to a different plane of existence.
Oh, Jesus.
Before
Have we not
you,
told you don't touch the port key.
Okay, Harry Potter.
Back!
before you, a grim and desolate landscape unfolds. The Abyss, a realm of darkness and chaos. Amidst the shifting mists and grotesque formations, you behold a disturbing sight. Among a swarm of writhing demonic larvae, you spot a familiar figure. Thornbone, the previous owner of the crystal skull. His form has been twisted and corrupted, reduced to that of a demonic larvae with his head on the beginning of the
Ew.
creature's body.
Gross.
A pitiable creature trapped in the relentless cycle of torment and suffering of the abyss. He is surrounded by countless other larvae, their souls damned and trapped within this malevolent realm. The air is filled with a palpable sense of despair and anguish. Your gaze follows Thornbone as he is herded and driven by a towering Vrock demon, a creature of immense power and cruelty. The Vrock demon guides the larvae, relentlessly pushing them toward their fateful judgment. It becomes clear that Thornbone's ultimate destination is to be judged by Orcus, the demon prince of undeath, a terrifying prospect that awaits his damned soul. The vision before you serves as a haunting reminder of the consequences that can befall those who delve too deeply into dark arts and seek forbidden power. Thornbone's fate is a stark warning of the perils that lie ahead. And you feel yourself transported back, and you're holding the skull, and the feeling of power and magic fades from the device.
Like dead, no more at all.
This is not entirely unexpected, because you know that there is, of course, life after death in the Forgotten Realms.
Sure, of course.
This
it
is what
seem
we
just
would like to
it
call
was-
foreshadowing. He'll be back.
Oh yeah, I think we got Orcus in our future. So does it feel like the skull itself is still port key, or it's been no, or maybe a video message from the great beyond?
It's uncertain what the purpose of the skull is exactly, but it appears that the power and the energy it was full of has either drained or become relatively inactive.
Did my spellcraft check of being in there observing him put that into the bag, and did I pick up on anything? Did I figure anything out? I like making you go.
So you believe that the skull may be some sort of enchanted either viewing device, or perhaps it has some kind of capability that allows you to see far.
So crystal ball like.
Perhaps.
Palantir.
Doesn't look like a crystal ball.
I understand that, but just making sure I understood.
Is there anything else in the chest?
So, you lift the crystal ball and put it into a sack, and as you gather up the bearskin cloak, which is, of course, of good quality, reveals a second cloak very neatly folded underneath the bearskin cloak. This new garment catches your attention immediately, as it's made of a remarkable cloth, red or crimson cloth that seems to possess an otherworldly beauty. The fabric shimmers with an enchanting power, radiating a subtle aura of magic. Though you may not fully comprehend its significance, you can sense that this cloak holds extraordinary properties and a mysterious past. The intricate weaving and the way it catches the light like the setting sun indicates that it's no ordinary garment.
Yeah, that's going into a bag, and we're not even looking at it till we get it identified.
Come
I don't
on,
trust
third
any of
level,
these
so I can get
cloaks.
these identify and knock. Jeez Louise.
So yeah, I pick it up and stuff it in a bag. Anything else?
Okay, let's see what else is in here. That's it. That's all that's in the chest.
Okay. Well, guys, since we're in the business of collecting cloaks, should we go poke that other one that we ran away from?
No.
Fair.
Don't even need to think about that one. That's a Z trap if I've ever seen one, and I've seen a lot of them.
How are you gonna get XP?
This is true, we haven't collected any. We could open the really bad door.
Finding treasures XP.
There's also the room downstairs that you haven't opened that had a very unusual lock, just like this door.
Wasn't that... I thought that room was the lower floor that we got to the roundabout way.
Oh no, they're in the ornately decorated level. There is a door.
Oh, yeah, no, that
Yes.
door, for sure.
Yes. But yeah, there is another door at the end of the hall. The other hall on this floor as well.
Excuse me.
I don't know, I feel like the treasure's more dangerous than the enemies, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Oh,
So what do
rail
you guys
trap.
think?
Z is kind of a fun blocker, isn't he?
I mean, I'm sure it's not all cursed, but it feels like 90% of it's probably cursed.
You gotta add some fear.
Yeah, we just got the Skull of Fear. So, what's the what do you guys think? The door on this floor, or do we go downstairs and probably do the final area of the dungeon?
You said there was a bag in the corner as well?
Yes, there's a bag of grain that appears to have spilled on the floor.
Grain. Okay. I want grain. Okay. Now, if we're running away from a floating cloak, maybe we need to find something else here.
Oh.
The other one was downstairs? Down this hall?
There's one that's the second floor past the basement. It's in the next section to the left, basically. Or
Ooh,
there's this
why do
door
you
over
do
here at the
that?
end of the hall.
That light is cool.
Yes.
The Dungeon Master Sky Beacon.
That's right. This is where I blink for the players to jump into my traps. As the mage goes running down the hall. What's that?
Ooh, pretty.
Which way are we going?
Yeah,
Go to
we're
the-
going here. We're going where Sky Daddy told us to.
Alright.
Guy Daddy, that's pretty funny.
Oh, you have phased through the wall. Careful with that.
Just jump right through the wall.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh, look at that.
Alright, made of dark, heavy wood. This door is bound in black iron bands that seem to pulsate with a strange, eerie energy. The wards etched into the wood seem to shift and writhe, as if trying to contain the evil within the room. As you approach the door, a sense of dread washes over you, as if warning you to stay away from whatever lies behind. Now, you've been here before, and it attempted to compel you to open the door, and you were able to resist.
I start chanting, Orcus, Orcus. No,
Please don't. You summoned him personally. We're in trouble.
no we
All right.
did
Do any of the keys we have fit the door?
You can look at the keys and compare them to the door. You realize that the silver key appears to be a proper match.
Last chance to change our mind, gentlemen.
Do it.
Want that experience, baby?
All right.
Bring the XP.
Give me a moment and I'll remove the hidden.
An Etten, a gelatinous cube, and a black pudding in a stack.
That'd be an interesting manipulation of fight.
Right. So the air in this room is thick with the stench of decay, and the only sound is the occasional drip of water. The floor is littered with debris. In the center of the room stands a table. Upon closer inspection, you see a twisted skeleton has been arranged on the table, surrounded by various saws and small instruments. It's clear this place was once the site of unspeakable experiments or torture. The feeling of dread settles upon you as you realize that whatever happened here, it was truly horrific.
I take out a string, measure the length of the table. I walk over to Alon and check out the height just to see, if it matches up or not.
Oh, it's a pretty close match, really.
Interesting.
You're in the room. If something's attacking, that's your problem.
Good move into the room. You scurry around the corner.
You boldly hides behind the candlestick.
Hey, I got a whopping 10 hit points, baby.
This appears to be a torture chamber of some sort.
Charming.
Something's still being tortured.
Huh.
Everyone needs their own torture chamber, right?
Indeed.
Didn't hurt.
People ask me why my wife and I needed 3,000 square feet. Because of the torture chamber.
Right. We call it the fun room.
Guest room.
The guest room.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate.
I like to call it the room of enlightenment.
Fancy.
I know.
The room of dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Doesn't quite fit with the lyrics of that song, but I appreciate the intent.
Okay, so you search about the room. Outside of the torture implements that have been arranged on the table kind of carefully, there doesn't appear to be any treasure or valuables of much import.
So...
Appears that
I
some
guess-
kind of low-level dweomer had been cast upon the door to keep people out of it.
What a
We'll
waste of
check out
magic.
the corpse that's on there. I doubt they would have
Grabs
left
you by
any
the throat.
good. Yeah, well, I'll certainly step far enough away to be out of arm's reach just in case. But you never know. There could be a ring or something.
As you get close to the skeleton, you realize that the flesh has been melted off the body and it's created a waxy film on the surface of the table and along the edges on the floor.
Oh, that's gross.
Acid?
It's difficult to determine. It may have been some action of alchemical fluid or perhaps natural decay, although it doesn't look like a natural act.
Fun.
Well, I'm gonna try some spellcraft there, see if I can't determine what the hell I think did that. And with that roll, if there's any magic involved, I should know.
Okay, so as you look over the body and evaluate the tools and implements that were set up here, you realize that this was most likely the body of a rogue or assassin of some sort that had been rather severely punished by the necromancer in the past. It's been laying here for some months, but the melted flesh indicate that some horrible spell had been unleashed on him before his death. You can see remnants of leather leggings and small implements on the table that look like a set of thieves' tools.
I'll pick those up at least. If nothing else, those can be sold.
Do you want to examine them before you stow them away?
They could be magical thieves' tools.
They could be masterwork thieves' tools. Sure, I'll
Could.
take a look at the thieves' tools.
Indeed, they are Masterworks thief tools.
See? Look at that.
Go ahead and make a note on your character sheet under items. Or equipment, I should say.
Yeah, from now on, you actually get to check yes for masterwork.
If I can spell it.
You don't have to spell it, it's just a yes or no.
Well, I know, but adding it to my equipment, I have to spell it.
Ah. Just put MW Thieves Tools.
So who's carrying around the crystal skull in a bag?
Damn.
Okay, Narvi. That's a good choice.
Captain Holy.
Exactly. We always give the evil artifact to the good aligned cleric.
Yep, because all of a sudden I'd be like raising skeletons and shit if that got down my path.
Well,
Speaking of,
If
I haven't read that necromancy book yet, have I?
No, there's a couple books you haven't read yet.
so we can either head down to that last room, we can go get a rest in before we do it. What do you guys think?
Well, if we're lacking heal spells, getting a rest in would be an incredibly smart choice.
Yeah, I just
We can go
think
camp
not
in the
here.
crypt one more time.
Why not?
Since I hadn't reset my spells. I do have a couple spells left. I'm one short on Cure Light, but should have 2 more of those available, and I have 4 Cure Minors, which is a point each.
I'd take a cure light if you had a spare one.
Okay.
And Narvi says, inferior rolls mean less heals.
God dang. Well, it came out to 4.
That'll do.
Mathematically isn't.
Do we need to walk over, or can we just fly over to the next map since that's where we're headed next?
Yeah, you can fly over to the next map.
All right.
Plop.
Okay, so I don't screw this up and drop myself in the drink or down in level 43 of the dungeon that's not yet revealed. How do I get so that I can see both the map I'm on and the map I want to be dragging to? I'm
Use
zoomed
the-
down as far as I can go.
And you can't see them both?
No.
Use the middle mouse to change the angle of your camera. Hold down the middle mouse and move it around, and you'll change the angle of your camera so you can see both maps at the same time.
Yep, you should be able to drop your token just in the edge of the room.
Or you can use the DM, and the DM will drag you over there.
Oh, he doesn't need that crutch. He needs to learn.
I mean, if you can see the ruler, that's the direction you're going.
Okay, but I'm zoomed out as far as I can go, and I can't seem to get it so that I've got a map at the bottom.
So
I've just
right
gotta
click
go
on
into
the screen
board.
and drag so you can see the map that's to your left.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. We landed on the roof, or on the wall.
Okay, well now I can see both maps, but I can't zoom it out enough so that I can see my tune.
Okay. I can't help much, but I can drag you over. Oh, look, you're flying.
Keep going. A little more.
You can use WASD.
Oh,
Whatever.
hey, nope. There you go. There you go.
You're almost there. That'll work. That'll work. We're headed down
We'll
to
take
that floor
baby
anyway.
steps.
Oh, you're on the right floor, even. How about that?
Yeah, but now with that wall there, I can no longer see myself.
That's what the middle mouse, hold down middle mouse and rotate, and you'll be able to see yourself. And use WASD to move your camera about. And then to hide the top level of this area, grab the green diamond on the bar on the right side and drag it down until the top floor disappears. And if you're desperate, I can actually make it disappear.
Nope, he's there. All right, that's progress, people.
I've hidden the top floor.
Right.
All
So,
right.
do any of the keys fit this door?
Let me tell you what you see first. Okay. So, deep within the recesses of the Haunted Manor, concealed by the facade of paranormal intrigue, lies an unknown room of enigmatic purpose. This clandestine chamber, hidden behind an ornately carved door, exudes an air of arcane mystique. As you approach, you notice intricate lion heads sculpted into the door, their fierce expressions frozen in stone. The door itself bears marks of age, displaying signs of wear and weathering. The wood is richly stained, hinting at its former grandeur, but time has left a mark in the faded colors and slight cracks. Delicate etchings, almost imperceptible at first glance, adorn the surface of the door. They depict the tale of ancient alchemy and forgotten enchantments, their true meaning known only to those well versed in esoteric lore. The keyhole, positioned in the center of the door, beckons for the jade key in your possession. It awaits the gentle touch of an intricately crafted key longing to unlock the secrets beyond.
Not sure I loved the way you phrased that, but okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you use a thesaurus when you write that, or?
I'm not sure how I feel about the key and the door longingly love each other, whatever that was. But anyway.
Yeah, I thought this was D&D, not soft porn. But hey,
Oh. All right, here we go.
What you doing? Oh, okay. You're gonna stick the key in the door?
I mean, I checked it for traps last session, so unless you trapped it between sessions, yes, I'd like to put the key in the door.
As you prepare to insert the key into the lock, you notice that the door itself seems to emit a faint magical aura.
Yeah, because I thought it was magically locked last time, but
The
got the
green
key.
The green key with this otherworldly green hue feels cool and weighty in your hand as you press it into the lock and turn it. Okay. A blade appears from the roof, meticulously honed and crafted from a gleaming alloy, glittering ominously, slides and tries to slice through flesh and bone.
Reflex.
hey, it's my good save, so here comes the 1, right?
Yeah,
No, don't even say that.
Okay.
I still rolled poorly.
Yeah, that wasn't good enough. The edge of the blade is razor sharp, and like a pendulum, it swings out of the roof, calculated to reach its maximum velocity as it hits you. Well, it gets to attack roll anyway. Oh, it missed. A huge swishing noise as it passes right past your head, and the trap is now discharged. And the door opens. Let me go and reveal the room.
I'm certainly not going to open the other door.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty funky looking out there. Some stone steps and some water. Half a ship.
That's where we were last time, you know. I hope he moved the boat far enough out that it's not going to be in contact with the ceiling. No, I was
Ooh.
expecting like a tomb. This is just a lab.
Okay, let me tell you what you see. As you open the ornate door and step into the secret laboratory, your senses are instantly captivated by the myriad sights and scents that surround you. The room stretches out before you, revealing a chamber of intrigue and alchemical wonders. To the west, sacks are haphazardly tossed against the wall. They appear to contain various materials, herbs, powdered reagents, and perhaps even some stolen treasures awaiting further examination or use. The sacks are slightly worn, their contents spilling out and revealing glimpses of things that could be within. Directly ahead, dominating the center of the room, is a sturdy table that captures your attention. The table is strewn with alchemical apparatus, each piece meticulously arranged as if the occupant of this laboratory was interrupted in the midst of an experiment. The air is thick with the lingering scent of chemicals, and a faint wisp of smoke wafts upward from a tincture that is being distilled in one of the glass apparatus. The intricate glassware bubbles and hisses with the gentle heat as if something potent is being refined within. To the north side of the table, large urn-shaped barrels stand tall, their caps firmly sealed. The barrels, standing at about 3 feet in height, suggest a storage function, possibly housing potent mixtures or valuable substances. The material they're made from is difficult to discern at a first glance. Adjacent to the barrels, several empty baskets rest on the floor, waiting to be filled with ingredients or used for storage. Beside the baskets, a small bookshelf stands, and holding a collection of weathered tomes. The spines of the books revealed faded titles, hinting at knowledge both arcane and mundane. In the northeast corner of the room, a large round container catches your eye. Filled with fine green sand, it appears to serve a specific purpose, though The function eludes immediate understanding. Perhaps it serves as a vessel for certain rituals or has some connection to alchemical processes within the laboratory. And finally, in the midst of this symphony of alchemical wonders, a large kettle stands, emanating a mesmerizing purplish glow. The kettle's filled with a vibrant purple liquid that swirls and shimmers with an otherworldly luminescence. Its purpose and properties remain a mystery.
We found the secret meth lab.
Yeah. Z, do you by any chance have a degree in English Lit?
No, although I've read everything under the sun.
Because, that was more words than I've heard since, college composition class.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of time on my hands.
I think that's his way of saying we spent so much time going everywhere but here, he had all the time in the world to refine this room.
Indeed.
Valid point.
Well, I'm going to go check out some tomage. Is that there?
Yes.
Ooh, lousy roll. But I will also cast Detect Magic so we, can see if there's anything magical in the room.
Okay. Did you roll 11? All right. So, looking at the spines of the books, you see one of them says the Grimoire of Arcane Enchantments. The second one says Chronicles of the Lost Kingdom. And the third one that you come across says Herbal Remedies and Folklore.
Nice.
As you step over and look at the bookshelf, the large round container filled with sand next to you suddenly begins to vibrate. It's a faint vibration initially, and it resonates through the room, originating from the container of sand itself.
It's a factory!
Okay, what are you guys gonna do?
That's probably bad, right, Mr. Wizard? You'd know more about it than I would, but that's probably
Sounds
a
like
bad thing.
Yes, sounds like a spellcraft check to me.
Okay, go ahead and make a spellcraft check. The sand in that container, potentially magical. You detect at least a faint aura, and you see the sand start vibrating more violently. Anybody else want to do anything?
What were the name? I got the last name of that book, the Herbal Remedies and Folklore.
Yeah, that's the third one. The second one was Chronicles of the Lost Kingdom, and the first one was the Grimoire of Arcane Enchantments. Yes.
So if you're looking for a book to maybe look in to find out what that is, that one would probably be the most likely. If I had to guess. You're gonna run right up to the green vibrating vessel and just
Narvi goes
Stare
over
at
the
it.
Yeah,
sand.
I'm gonna check out the sand.
The Crystal
Okay.
Skull's telling him to do it.
All right. And then Crag and Elon, are you doing anything interesting?
I'm going to
I mean,
continue to scope out behind us to make sure nobody's sneaking up behind.
Okay.
Well, I'm letting the search for good stuff go to smarter and wiser personnel.
I mean, I was looking at this locked box, but now I'm kind of staring apprehensively at the shaking container over there.
All right. All right, so it's the next round. You see the sand within the container begin to coalesce into what looks like some kind of creature. And the sand is swirling in the air and turning into something.
The container's not closed?
Steps back.
No, it's an open-topped cauldron.
Yes.
It's... Oh, we don't have a ping. But yeah, to the right of the bookshelf, yay?
Yeah, it's the green.
Yeah, the green
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Pour water on it. That'll stop it, right?
I'll pee in it. Just kidding.
That's a good way to get your weak point attacked for massive damage, right?
Exactly why I'm not going to do it.
I mean, you could throw the mystery potion in it. You could dump the purple kettle on it. You know, there's lots of really bad options we have here.
Hit it with the skull.
As the sand runs out of the building screaming.
It's a rock monster. Ooh.
All right. So, as you guys move back from the container, you see coalescing before you is a creature that you've only heard of in rumors and myths. It's a sand method. It's an entity whispered about in children's stories, but it's materialized before your very eyes. Stands an imposing height of 6 feet, its form swirling, condensed humanoid figure crafted entirely from granules of sand. It emanates an aura as if it's been forever caught in the eternal desert breeze. Its eyes are
Cares.
glowing, and it doesn't look happy. Everybody roll initiative. Okay, looks like Robo Artist first.
Well, I guess the tried and true. Hey, enjoy that, Mr. Method.
You fire magic missiles into the creature, and it twitches in frustration as it can't resist this kind of attack.
Pew pew.
As you contemplate the creature, you can't help but speculate that the creature might have unusual resistances based on its sand-based composition and the legends surrounding such beasts. It's plausible to assume it possesses some forms of resistance, however, they remain a mystery and will require some kind of astute observation or resourcefulness to discover the most effective way to confront this creature. Crag, you're next.
Alrighty. I find myself thinking that my axe is going to be useless. Like I'll slice right through the sand. Alright, I guess I'll switch to my warhammer and... Where is this? He's in the upper right-hand corner?
Yep.
Yep, he's standing on top of the thing there.
And I'm gonna smack him with my warhammer.
You hit it. Alright, you smack it relatively hard, and sand goes spraying against the wall, and the creature opens its mouth, and sand comes out, and a horrible roar begins. Okay, Alon is next.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop a blast. 'Cause I'm pretty sure piercing weapons aren't gonna be real good against a sand monster.
Okay, Narvi, you're next.
Try something different. I'm going to cast Great Water at him. See if I can't turn him into a mud monster.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
He used his expeditious mental powers to juxtapose a difference on the
Ow.
Inco creature.
I think I just broke
Okay.
something in my brain.
Alright, so it's gonna get at least some kind of basic saving throw. I'm gonna give it a reflex.
Reflex save to dodge 2 gallons of water.
Oh, it's got to be more than 2 gallons.
It's a 0 level spell, so for me a DC 14 would be...
Oh, it fails.
It is now very wet.
Okay, so this begins coagulating the sand, and the creature is next.
That's got to be like the equivalent of a slow spell.
Either that or you've just made it hit harder.
It's possible.
Alright, so as the tension reaches its peak, with a sudden and forceful inhalation, the creature draws in a lungful of air, stirring up the sands within its being. A palpable electric charge begins to fill the air, and it appears to be less surprising than you would expect, I guess. And the sand method releases its breath weapon, known as the Sand Blast. In an instant,
Shouldn't it be a mud blast?
it's more of a cement blast at this point. And a vortex of granulated sand bound with water comes spewing out of its mouth, but not to the correct distance. It only
Yeah, it
goes-
should be just like upchuck at this point.
Yeah. High speed wet sand. So normally the sand particles would be propelled at a supernatural velocity, but now it's less effective. Alright, so the three of you standing close to the creature are going to have to make a save as the sand blast comes out toward all three of you. It only goes 15 feet. So that would be Narvi, Crag, and Rubelard need to save. Reflex save.
Reflex save, okay. Well, I'm real good at that. I got a -1.
Nice. Rubelard dodges, Crag fails, and Narvi dodges. How about that?
I rolled a 1.
That's fine. Alright, Crag.
Wow, quite the cone for a second there.
I know, you can do things.
Badass, really.
Okay, Crag, you take 10 points of damage. Narvi takes 3. And Robillard takes 1 point.
Honestly, kind of fits with how far you each were from the monster.
It really does.
Yeah. Alright, it's initiative for the next round. Okay, looks like Narvi is first.
Oh my god dang, I didn't have time to look. I don't know if this'll... Only got a bladed weapon, which I know will just pass right through it.
It might not now that it's all coagulated.
Alright, I'll try and nail it with my Orvamore axe. It is not flanked.
Oh, but you fumble.
Nat
Roll
1.
percentile.
God dang.
Where have I put my critical hits?
I mean, if
If you can't find him, there is no crit. That's the way it should be. I give you 30 seconds to find it. If not, there's no crit.
Let's see how fast my computer is here.
I'm juxtaposing my will upon the process.
One of those word of the day calendars in front of you, don't you?
I didn't start till Z started, having, the
You're putting your
fucking-
will next to it.
there you are. Z started tossing out all the descriptive words, so I'm like, okay, I could dip into the vocabulary.
Got your thesaurus at the ready.
I don't need it, brother. I have a master's degree. It's all in the head.
Wow.
You, I got nothing in mind.
Was that a good wow or a bad wow?
No, I'm just struggling to find my special sheet.
Yeah, see,
I
I think
thought
we're
that
past
meant he
30
found the
seconds.
cheat and you were totally dead.
Nah, 68 's
Flashbacks
not
to
gonna be
Ross
totally
Brown.
Alright.
If I don't even ask me questions, I'd have brought my charts.
Nice.
Yeah, really? Revealed intentions. You and your allies all suffer a -2 on your next attack. So you've managed to get in everyone's way.
Well, I
Got right through
could have
my
been
desk.
worse.
Alright. Alon is next.
Considering after that -2 and then him shooting into melee, I don't think I could even come close to hitting it, so I probably am just gonna pass.
Okay. Robillard.
Well, thankfully I don't give a shit about minus to hit rolls.
You zap
5
it
more
with
damage.
magic missile again. Alright. The thing disintegrates at this point.
I bow to my brethren and just say, "You're welcome." Nothing but a thing.
How about we take the lid off this kettle here and put it on the cauldron to make sure no more come out of there?
Okay.
I think that's a reasonable call.
Alright, you guys can talk amongst yourselves while the DM uses the restroom.
Oh, I can make my drink. Excellent.
Well, I don't know. It seems like we've not been very successful at getting that last bit of experience, huh?
I don't know, we defeated a Mephit. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, but divided by 4, he's not worth very much.
Oh, I don't know what their XP is.
I couldn't tell you, but one Mephit's pretty bad. It's been a while since I've DM'd, but yeah, I don't recall them being particularly valuable.
No, I can't imagine that they are.
The only thing scary is they got a breath weapon, but they only get to use it once, and yeah.
And he was wet. Kinda hoping I could wash him away with that thing.
So did anybody see there was a high school championship game in New York? There were 2 guys on second and third. They struck out the last batter, but the catcher didn't catch it. So the guy runs to first base while the fielding team they're all celebrating. And while they're
See that?
celebrating, the other 2 kids scored from second and third. And they ended up losing the game.
They went from winning to losing.
Just dumb.
Yeah, it's inattention. You gotta listen to what the ref is saying, not what you think you're seeing.
I was watching one of our kids play our team played softball. And our center fielder, she made a fantastic catch. She ran a mile to get it. She dove. She got it. He rolled that it bounced. when his payment came across my desk, I was going to include an optometrist business card check.
Refs are only human.
Some of us don't think
Yeah,
that.
and they only get $75, and I was afraid that it was going to bounce back at the school, so I didn't do it.
Still, it would be
It's
freaking hilarious
fine.
if you did.
Just makes me think of years ago when I was in high school culinary arts program. We went to a cooking contest, basically. It's a little I think it's very interesting that the students that placed first and second were the ones from the school that was providing the refs.
Huh. There's no bias in that.
No, not at all. Not to mention that every other student in the competition had 1,000 minus points before they even started. Because they hand you your sheet and says, this is everything you did wrong. Yeah. My school didn't bother going back next year.
You're like, I hate these people. It's cruel and unfortunate, the punishments they mete out among people. I've discovered I can write like a graduate.
I think my favorite was one of the students got written up for not sanitizing their station, but also written up for having the sanitizer bucket on their station.
Oh.
So they, made up the bucket of sanitizer and sat it there to look at?
It's a tasty drink.
Did they then catch COVID and blame it on someone else?
Unfortunately, this was many years before COVID.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I got in trouble for speeding when I was learning how to drive at school.
Fun.
We were driving out to this little place where people would drive and quote-unquote park at night called Pecker's Knob. And
It's like an appropriate name.
Yeah. And so we were driving out there. It's like, this is an empty road. Nobody's on it. I'm going to have fun. It's like, teacher's like, okay, you could fail the class now. I'm like, so cruel. Anyway.
The school's driving instructor, one of the school's former driving instructors, he got fired because when he was explaining, how alcohol and weight interact, he told one of the heavier girls that she could drink more than her classmates because she weighed more.
Nice.
He got bounced for fat
What a
shit.
charming man.
I'm sure
he
that
was
went
a
well.
friggin' idiot.
Okay.
Sure sounds like it.
Oh, every time he came into the back row of the business office, I'd get visibly angry. Dude, go elsewhere.
Yes.
All right, so back to the spooky alchemy lab.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. So there was some kind of guardian in this room, but you were able to vanquish it relatively easily.
Which only means there's another guardian.
Does the purple cauldron start shaking next?
Not that you can see. It's just extra glowy and purple.
Somebody keep an eye on the purple cauldron. Anyway, so what's this locked box in the corner? Is it actually locked?
Yeah, there's a box in the corner with a lock on it.
Here we go. I think it's use the fancy thieves' tools.
Okay. So you work at it for a few moments, and then you hear the click of the lock unlocking.
Now, before I flip the lid, I mean, it would be silly to have it this way, but I'm still gonna check. How trapped is this box?
Okay. You don't detect a trap.
All right, I will open the box.
Okay. Okay, so you see that there are several bags, and you smell the smell of herbs that have been carefully dried and bundled inside the box. You can smell the smell of peppermint and basil and sage for certain, and perhaps a few other smells as well. And inside this box, looks like there's a secondary container, another smaller box, and there's pictures of flowers on the top of it.
Oh, God. Well, I was gonna try and identify those flowers, but never mind. Not with a nat 1.
Indeed.
Yo, anyone else here know anything about flowers?
Yeah, you think it's like chamomile and jasmine.
Fine, I found the oregano stash, and then there's the matryoshka box, so Alright, fancy box, are you trapped?
Okay, it doesn't appear to be
Lord.
trapped.
Okay, we're in
Is the
trouble.
fancy-
They're trapping the spices.
Is the fancy box locked?
Oh no. The lid looks like it's easily removable.
All right, I'm opening the fancy box.
Okay. You see a glass vial with swirling liquid that radiates a bit of warmth and a soft glow. A second vial made of crystal. And it's got an amber colored liquid within. Then there is a third glass flask that's encased in a protective cushion, and you're not sure why it would be, but it's got a swirling mist of bluish hues.
So we've got a swirling vial, an amber crystal vial, and a vial of swirling mist.
It's inside a cushioned container.
Okay. I guess I'm going to carefully take the 2 vials that aren't packaged in a cushion container. Can I take the cushion container out of the box, or?
Yes, but it weighs significantly more than the other 2 vials. The other 2 vials weigh like a quarter of a pound, but with the cushion container, it weighs about 2 pounds.
Okay. I don't even know if I can carry that around without crossing encumbrance rules, so I may have to ask one of them to hold that. Yeah, I can take the other 2, but hey, one of you guys want to carry this other vial in its cushion? Kinda heavy.
Sure. Sure, why not?
Okay.
Okay. DM makes a note.
That's always bad. I don't think there's much else to look at here other than the scary potion that I don't want to touch, because I'd prefer not to blow up. I guess it's just you and the bookshelf, Mr. Wizard.
Was that the twirling orange one that you said that it was taken? Vial.
It was a vial of swirling mist packed in a cushion container.
Missed, okay.
I'm gonna do a spellcraft check on the purple cauldron.
Okay.
Oops. And where's that sheet?
Okay. You eyeball it very carefully. So, you know that the purplish cauldron is a telltale sign of a necromantic nature. It's an infusion or concoction used for channeling or harnessing the energies of undead or dark forces. But the specific purpose and effects of this liquid can vary depending on the intentions and how the necromancer created it, used it. You have a few thoughts on what it could do.
And those thoughts are.
Perhaps you could make an elixir of unholy resistance and gain temporary resistance to certain forms of damage.
Is there a
Which may or
spare
may not
flask
be
around?
Super evil.
You don't know what's going on in my head, mister.
No, this is true. This is true.
Don't metagame me.
It's fine. I'm neutral. I don't care that much anyway.
This elixir may derive its power from dark energies of necromancy, bolstering the user's defenses with an aura of unholy fortitude.
May or may not result in permanent demon transformation.
So,
As long as it gives me
what's-
more spell power.
You're also thinking that it could help you create a tonic of life absorption. In a more sinister way, purplish liquid could be a tonic designed to siphon and absorb life force or vitality from living beings. When consumed, it could grant you the ability to drain the life essence out of your victims, replenishing yours, of course.
God, that just sounds like fun.
You see the wizard's eyes arch as he contemplates the purplish liquid.
Presuming he's
I mean,
not
I'm
saying
no
all this out
paladin,
loud.
but these both
course
sound
not.
like bad news.
Of course I'm not saying that out loud. Jeez.
And I don't recognize what this potion is, I would assume. I'll give you a roll just to see.
Oh no, you've got no idea what this purple stuff is.
Cream topping, you're good. Grab some.
There you go. Is there a flask in here I can utilize? With a stopper?
You look about, and it looks like there's at least a couple empty jars on the bookshelf.
Sweet. I'll fill up 2 jars.
Okay.
Pack them away.
Alright, so they're clay jars filled with a purple liquid.
for future experimentation.
Of course.
So you want me just
Scientific
list?
reasons only.
Thank you. Exactly. 2 clay jars of purple. Sweet. All right. I will also further investigate the bookshelf to make sure there's nothing else besides the books in there.
All right, so you find most of the jars are empty, but one of them contains lavender blossoms, and the other one contains chamomile.
This guy has a tea obsession, I think.
You could do spellcraft if you want to see why.
Sure. Happy to do. I just need to make a macro for spellcraft checks.
All right. So the lavender blossoms are known for calming and soothing properties. They're often used for relaxation potions or sleep aids or fragrances. And also, chamomile flowers are prized for calming effects, and they're often steeped in teas or used in potions to promote relaxation and sleep.
So he unwinds with a goblet of purple goo and a cup of tea.
Don't mess with my goo, mister.
I was referring to Thornbone, but if you want to take up that process, by all means, have fun.
Nice.
Maybe you want to poke at the potion that's still brewing.
Ooh. Let's check that out next.
Okay.
I'm just a kid in a candy store right now.
I'm going to carefully stand over here, just in case something goes wrong.
I should get a skill point of alchemy out of this. Just saying.
All right.
Woo, yeah.
So you examine the tincture that's being distilled, and it's clearly potent and some sort of magical origin, but you don't know what it is.
All right.
But it's obviously very fresh, and it's been decanted into a glass vial. It's got kind of a silver shimmer to it.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess with that if I don't know what it is. All right. I'm done with the room. How about the rest of you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Now we just got to figure out how to get the door open so we can leave.
Right.
Could go out a window.
Does anyone have
Basement?
rope on them? Because it's the second floor.
Yeah,
That
I got
has
50
windows.
feet of rope.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay, wasn't this place all sorts of dilapidated? There's got to be any
Yeah.
number of holes in the front.
Well, the solid whatever doors slammed shut on us when we were resting the one night. Way back at the beginning.
Yeah, it's
So
been
we can
some
either
time.
climb out a second floor window or we can try to bust those doors open.
So if a troll can do it, I'm pretty certain we can do it.
I mean, trolls are pretty big.
Oh. Yeah, there's that.
I'm not saying you dwarves aren't. You're very large dwarves.
You were looking when I was peeing, huh? Alright.
Off to the very first map, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's where you guys are going to want to move to.
Is that to the right?
All the way to the
Yeah,
right.
all the way.
Okay, that's what I thought. By the way, you can stand on top of the walls at the very edges of the screens.
So we're going over here.
The far right, dead center, first floor.
And of course, as I'm trying to adjust.
You're on the second section, so you're getting closer. Oop,
Water. Hey, where am I?
Narvi, you've wound up in the ocean.
Yep.
Where did Darby go?
And below.
He's in the ocean. In between the two sections. Right here.
Okay, let's see if I can retrieve it. Oh, he just disappeared.
Where did
Yeah,
Darby go?
Now well out in the ocean to the north of the whole thing.
The shit. Here I am.
Oh.
Let's see. Shift S.
Right in there.
Alright, I just moved Narvi to the correct location.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's just on the wrong floor.
Oh, right? Yeah, go ahead and move on down.
Alright. So here we are at the door, the very locked door. Well, I don't think it's locked, I think it's just broken.
Dwarf power. Activate.
So what's the dwarf doing?
I'm going to try to open the door. I'm better.
I'll help.
Okay.
I'll help out.
Are the hinges on our side?
Yes.
Start yanking on it.
Can we see them?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do we think we could use some thieves' tools to lift the hinge pin up out of the door?
I mean, they're pretty heavy-duty pins, and thief tools are pretty, I don't want to say
Okay.
delicate, but they kind of are.
I think I've got a crowbar.
Well, no. Okay, if you look at a door, if you tap the hinge pin up out of the door, it falls off the hinge.
Yep, I don't have a crowbar.
Yeah, you probably need like a metal spike and a hammer for that.
They're
feel
old
like
and
I've
these
got-
big pins.
And you haven't tried to open the door yet either.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to open the door.
Yep, yank on it.
Alright, I think you right-click the door and it'll send me a thing to...
Oh my gosh, they slam shut, but they're not even close. Here I was thinking we were stuck.
Alright, everybody, just hang on for a second.
Oh god, here it is. Whatever our
Because
encounter
the doors
is.
have to explode.
Oh, no, it's just we've been ambushed by goblins? Alright, that is unexpected. Skeletons, maybe. Goblins? Okay.
They look kind of shocked. They appear to have been standing outside the front door, discussing among themselves what they should do, because, you know, goblins aren't exactly the known type of heroic figures that everyone expects. But they're all shocked. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative roll.
You probably want to clear out the ones from before.
23, nice. 5, damn.
They're like, what?
They're so shocked.
You guys throw the doors open in front of them.
Zoinks.
Alright, so there's 5 goblins standing out the front door, 4 of them with bows and 1 with a sword. And they look terribly unhappy about the entire situation suddenly. Alright, Elon's first.
I'm gonna shoot one of the archer goblins.
Okay, go ahead and ping it with like the measuring tool or something. Let me know which one.
Oh, yeah. I guess him.
Okay.
Does an 11 hit him while he's flat-footed?
No,
Tragic.
not quite good enough.
Well, that's that for me.
Okay, let's see who's next. Crag.
I'm going to run up and hit the guy with the sword
Okay.
with my axe.
Alright, you'll get a
Yes,
plus
you got a
2
plus
for
1.
charging. Yeah.
You get a +1 for actual bonus.
You are dwarves beating up goblins, after all.
Oh, you hit. Oh,
And
you...
I'm going to bellow, run away, you fools, in goblin or whatever.
Okay. You hit him really severely. Go ahead and roll a d6 and a percentile, because he's been wounded. Okay. So you hit him in the head. Oh, he needs to make a save as you hear the sound of bone breaking. Oh, he saves. So you just clobber him upside the head severely. And blood's all over the place. Ballard is next.
Okay. I am just checking range on something here real quick. Oh, 100 feet, easy range. Okay, I am casting Sleep for hit dice of creatures.
Okay. Do they get a save?
Yes.
For will.
Okie doke. Okay. So the 4 bowmen hit the ground. Alright, Narvi's next.
Well, it doesn't appear I can do a hell of a lot, because I can't attack someone that's down. Against the code of, I think it did Silver Beard.
Why don't we
So,
tie them up, bring them back to town, and tell them that they were
I mean, the
working
sword
for
goblin
hire?
is still up, guys.
I didn't put paid to him?
Oh, he's not dead. No.
Okay.
I'll just move
I'm
into
good.
a flanking position. Not a charge, so I can't.
I think there's been a bit of confusion. He gets to have a square, guys. You're kind of just dwarf bullying the poor thing.
Think I can move any further away.
Well, I moved. This
Yeah,
one
no,
seemed too
the
far
goblin's
away,
not properly on a square, which is the issue.
And
DM, can you fix the goblin's positioning? He's kind of not on a tile.
There you go. Well, that's not a great spot either.
I can move back a little bit so that he can jump in between. Just moving it on the other side of him so I could get both. So that I could flank him.
Alright, now he's on his proper square.
Okay. So I wasn't able to charge because wouldn't be able to get in flanking position. I can't attack the guys that are down, so I just moved in behind him.
Okay. Alright, let's see. He's gonna make a little morale check. I think he's a very aggressive goblin. He strikes out at Craig. 14. What's your AC, Craig?
16.
It bounces off your shield impotently. It's next round.
You wearing a tuxedo?
I don't think so.
Horrible bad joke. Never mind.
A 3? Again?
He's a very aggressive, but also very slow goblin.
Alright. Elon, you're first.
Alright, well... Oh, God. Okay, nope. We're not going to do it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to attack him with the short sword.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not flanking.
Miss.
Classic rogues in combat. I
Yeah.
hit things once.
Narvi's next.
Should have saw the
Okay.
last game, man. I was hacking it up on my rogue.
Yeah, he was badass. I'm gonna take a shot at him with the axe. King is attack bonus 1. 1.
That's a hit.
Woo!
Okay, good roll percentile. And a d6. Alright. So you hit him with your war axe, one of his legs, and you take a big chunk of skin comes flying off into the ground nearby the goblin, and he goes down in a pile of limbs near his compatriots. Alright, Robillard, what are you gonna do?
I will. Let's see, where am I? There I am. I will come on out and coup de grace, little goblin boy.
Okay.
Good night now, for good.
Alright, and then Crag is next.
Is there anything left?
Just goblins on the ground.
Okay, I guess I will smash one of their skulls in with my axe. Feel guilty, killing helpless things, but they're goblins and they weren't going to redeem themselves.
Well, and they'd be doing the same thing to us given the option.
Indeed.
Well, yeah.
Alright, Narvi, you're next. What are you gonna do?
Well, my religion prevents me from dispatching them, so I'll start going through this dude's the downed chieftain, I think.
Personally, I think you'd be doing them a kindness, but yeah.
Elon, you're next.
Yeah, I'm gonna coup de grace the one near me. Just a nice, quick throat slit, move on with our lives.
Okay.
And then there was one.
Alright, Crag, you're next.
Last one. I guess I'll kill him. Unless somebody beats me to it.
He just winks out of existence. Well, they're goblins. I'm sure their loot was terrible, but what do they have?
Okay. The goblin that had the sword.
Yeah, I think the only useful thing there is the money. Classic goblin.
Count the money. Count the money.
Money,
Nay.
more money, more money.
Don't be saucy with me, Bernays.
Nice.
Brooks, it's a comedy genius.
My wife still doesn't understand what's so funny about the Spanish Inquisition.
The comfy chair.
Has she not seen History of the World?
Yes, and she finds it unfunny.
My God. The jig is up.
I'm gone.
Exactly.
Light.
Now, granted, I
arrows?
found that funnier later in life.
He is a eunuch. He is dead.
Yep.
All right, well, time to head back to town.
Yeah, I got a rogue to find, don't I?
I grabbed the trinkets bag. No, most,
And the
most
money.
of the other stuff is crap, but yeah, no, the money definitely goes with us.
Okay.
And for flight arrows, is that a special kind of arrow?
Yeah, there's two kinds of arrows you could have. Flight and sheaf.
Oh, okay.
Flight's your normal arrows. Sheaf does a little more damage.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone uses a regular bow, you may as well take the arrows.
We could always give them or sell them to someone at the town.
Well, arrows are worth basically nothing, so...
Okay. So, as the group of you make your way from the abandoned manor, with your pockets and bags full of spoils from your successful exploration, Eerie change in the atmosphere starts to take hold. The once gentle breeze morphs into a fierce howling wind, and the rhythmic crashing of waves against the cliffs below transforms into a thunderous roar. Looking out towards the sea, you can see dark storm clouds gathering on the horizon, their ominous presence foretelling the impending wrath of a tempest. The sky grows increasingly turbulent, with flashes of lightning illuminating the brooding darkness. As you begin your trek northward, you find yourselves caught in the onslaught of a storm. Sleet begins to descend from the heavens, a relentless assault of icy pellets that sting on impact. Their biting cold and relentless barrage threaten to hamper your progress and sap your strength. I'm gonna go ahead and change the map. Give me a minute.
Never quite that easy, huh?
Why would it ever be easy? What's going on with that?
For easy,
See,
it wouldn't be fun.
I would have made a knowledge nature check and said we can't outrun the storm. We should stay one more night. But
Well, you
too
could.
late now.
You're not too far down. I'm still
No, we're
fumbling with
changing
maps.
map. We're far away.
And I just want to say, quicksand is not nearly the problem that I was led to believe it was going to be by childhood television.
Anvils are distinctly less common as well.
You know, every TV show, every cartoon had somebody falling in the stuff.
Yes.
Lassie, did Jimmy fall in the sand again?
Shit, that just posted.
The suspicious owl token all the way up there.
Yeah, suspicious owl flying about. And give me a minute here. I gotta kind of catch up here. None of you are wearing the bearskin cloak. It's interesting.
No,
We don't wear unidentified things.
we're professionals.
Got it.
Actually, I was just gonna say I was gonna put it on before when we were talking about the snow start or the rain starting.
Oh well,
So
if you
there
want
is
to
at
do
least
that,
one idiot amongst us.
go ahead. Go ahead. You can do so if you'd like. When you turn into a
Yeah.
bear, it's not my fault.
Oh man, that would be freaking awesome. I'm putting it on now. I wasn't gonna, but now I'm gonna.
So, as your path descends towards the rugged coastline, the relentless sleet continues to pelt your weary bodies. However, amidst the tumultuous weather, a particular sight catches your attention. A solitary figure, shrouded in tattered rags, kneeling upon the shore. This person's head is bowed, facing out towards the churning sea as if engaged in deep supplication or prayer. And I'll go ahead and use the light.
To the gods, or just got struck by lightning. One or the other.
As you draw nearer, you can see the figure's frail form, hunched and weathered by the elements. The tattered rags that drapes their body seems to blend with the surrounding landscape, their hues mirroring the muted tones of the stormy sky and turbulent sea. Despite these conditions, a faint ethereal glow seems to emanate from the figure, creating a stark contrast to the gloom.
I hate to interrupt anyone in prayers, but
This definitely feels like somebody else's problem, and we should just keep walking, right?
I'll walk up to him
Okay.
and I'll interrupt.
Fatal.
Yeah, well, listen. I put on a damn rug so I can turn into a bear.
Fair enough.
We'll talk to what appears to be either a god or fallen angel, and I'll walk up and I'll say, hello, my wet friend. How are you doing today?
Okay. So as you approach the enigmatic figure, the sun, against all odds, begins to break through the darkened clouds, casting rays of golden light that pierce the sleet and shimmer on the tumultuous waters. The juxtaposition of the radiant sunshine and the ongoing storm creates a surreal ambience about you. It becomes evident the kneeling figure is engaged in an intensely personal act. The posture and reverence which they're kneeling before the sea suggests a profound connection with the strange driving of the elements. What driven them to offer their prayers at this location is a mystery.
Like I said, I feel like that's somebody else's problem and we should just go.
I agree.
Because anyone that can order the sun around is not someone I'm going to argue with.
No, I don't want to argue with them. I want to get them on my side. If you guys want to, let's go.
All right. So, sensing your presence, the figure slowly raises his head, revealing eyes that seem to hold some ancient wisdom and a world-weary expression. With a voice that carries a hint of otherworldly resonance, he responds to your question. You seek answers, yet answers lie hidden in the fabric of existence. I am but a vessel, an observer in this mortal realm. Time, like the shifting tides, reveals its secrets in due course. My presence here is but a fragment, a glimpse into the vast tapestry of realities. Crazy alert!
Right, so that's great. Let's just go.
Yeah, last time we messed with a omnipotent, kind of fucked the whole campaign. So yeah, see, I wouldn't want to be a.
It's a
All right.
Z-trap. Run! Nice to meet you. We'll be on our way now.
Oh, it's too soon. Can't happen that quickly.
Why not?
Oh, because the DM's about to give you some special things.
Yeah. Trap. We're doomed.
I'll ask him if he's controlling there or which god
Don't
he's
have
praying.
All right, so at this point, the creature or figure on the beach undergoes a profound transformation, shedding the facade of a beggar and revealing their true form as a radiant diva. Give me a moment. Okay. The celestial presence begins to illuminate the surroundings, and the voice they have carries a sense of divine purpose as they address you. By parting the darkness that lingers nearby, you've set a series of events into motion. Travelers from distant lands, drawn by the call of destiny, are converging upon this realm, seeking a clue of great importance. And it is you who carries this clue, unbeknownst to yourselves.
It's a skull.
You realize the diva's words carry weight of significance, hinting at a larger quest and purpose that you've unwittingly become entangled in. As the being's radiant gaze falls upon each member of the party, gleaming with celestial knowledge, it adds, embrace the path that unfolds before you, for it is through your actions that the tapestry of fate will be woven. Seek wisdom and guidance, for the threads of destiny intertwine, and the meddler of time awaits those who are willing to unravel it.
He seems awfully like sewing obsessed, you know? All this talk of tapestries and so yeah, that's great. Thanks.
Good luck storming the castle.
Do you have any further words of wisdom for us before we leave?
The diva's ethereal voice resonates with the divine assurance, and it smiles faintly as it says, a holy man, guided by a sacred quest, shall soon make his way towards your presence. Though you have never crossed paths before, a deep recognition will stir within you when your eyes meet. It is through the threads of destiny that your connection will be revealed. And with these cryptic words, the diva's form begins to fade, returning to the ethereal realm from whence it came, leaving you standing on the beach, contemplating your significance or your role in this unfolding saga.
How would we know it went back to where it came from?
You don't, but you can assume.
You don't. It's just
It sounds
hanging out
less
in the ethereal
poetic.
plane stalking us.
Yeah. See, he can reveal shit like that when it fills his agenda, but we ask those questions. You don't get to know.
Isn't that how it's
All right,
supposed to
well,
be?
That was weird. Anyway, let's get back to town. You've got a rogue to beat some money out of, right?
I do.
All this lovely talk of overarching, you've taken on a super important quest and stuff. Yeah, that's a thing. Be nice if someone, asked one of these times, right?
Exactly.
That's not how it works. You see the owl fly off to the north.
Oh, right. The random owl that's been spying on us.
This DM likes his owls.
Sure. Totally not a druid animal companion that's totally reporting to the evilest druid in the multiverse.
How did we know druids could be evil now?
Neutral evils in alignment.
Yeah. My last party didn't really think about it too much.
Oh wait, was John evil?
Whoops! Poor John. Okay.
No way John was evil. No way.
Alright, so something's gonna happen. I think we'll probably wrap it up here for today, because I gotta generate some stuff. You guys kind of went through a little faster than I expected, but yeah, next session will be mainly in town, and I'm gonna reveal a bunch more things that are gonna be happening. And there's going to be something, hopefully, that serves as an interesting surprise for all of you.
I've come to learn with this campaign that when it's an interesting surprise, interesting just seems to be finger quotes for...
Well, you don't know. Not always. Gotta balance all the alignments, don't I?
Alrighty.
Super important question. When I put that bear skin on, did I turn into a bear? I was promised that.
Oh.
I suggested it was an option. I didn't say it was a promise.
You gonna put on the
Taking
bearskin
it as a promise. Yeah, I put it on before I met with the angel.
Okay. Let me see. I wrote up a little bit about the bearskin cloak. Let me find it.
I wasn't gonna until you said that I'd turn into a bear, so I'm assuming it's gonna happen. 10 years ago, I played turned into Alf. Great.
All right. So, as you don the bear's cloak, you realize that your newfound attire provides marvelous protection against the harsh weather. The cloak's magical properties shield you from the biting cold, and its fabric completely resists the sleet and the wind, ensuring both your comfort and preserving your energy for the walk ahead.
Okay,
Good news, it's not cursed. Bad news, you don't get to turn into a bear.
Yeah, a little disappointing.
Aww. Yes, magical gifts are still unknown and unidentified.
Oh, right.
Hopefully we killed enough that we can level.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. I'm going to do calculations between our next session, and then...
Don't forget loot.
Right.
Loot XP.
Loot XP? No, that's not how it works. I think you get XP for combats and for traps. So, that's about it, though.
Okay, our next session is planned to be the 11th.
Let's see, in 2 weeks? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, the 11th.
Okay, the only problem I have is that might be the rain date for graduation.
Okay.
If it is, I've got to be there and I can't be here.
Well, if it is, we'll reschedule for the 4th
Yeah.
or the...
Now that's only if graduation gets rained out. Did I hear that right? Okay.
Yeah, they try not to have it on a Sunday.
All right, so if you could let us know by maybe midweek, if you can find out by then, that would be good.
Yeah, the problem is it's the rain date, so, I don't believe it will be that day. But if it's raining that Sunday or the Saturday, then...
How is that any different than Rob having a fire emergency? It's not. So there we go.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a good point.
hopefully the weather will be good the whole week, and I'll know ahead of
There you
time.
go.
There you go. Exactly. And we'll work around it if you give us enough notice.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll check weather.com. It usually gives you like a 10-day, expectation.
Check it all the time, and it's frequently wrong.
Yes, it is.
Well,
Yeah, we've been having thunder and lightning, which is pretty unusual during the summer. So, okay. Well, next session's going to be both exciting and interesting. Hopefully.
All
those
our
are words
sessions.
I come to dread in this campaign.
All our sessions are exciting and interesting. Thank you very much.
Well,
This
that's
is
the
true.
idea.
This is true.
Cool.
All right, brothers. Catch you next time.
All right, guys.